Will cruise across the metro. They have been planning for this morning.
News coming. KMBC-9's Brenda Washington joining up with a snow removal company in Kansas City, Kansas this morning. Brenda.
Well, good morning. We're here with Jim Martz, who is head of Martz Brothers Snow Removal. They are based in KCK. Right now, we are here at 87th and I-35, where, Jim, what are you doing right now? You're salting, I guess, this commercial parking lot?
Yes, we're pre-treating, getting ready for the storm to come in this morning, and make sure we've got treatment down for everybody to get in safely to work.
Now, you say the hardest thing about the small storms especially is what?
Well, they're a little harder to predict, so they're not like a large storm where we know we're going to get 4, 5, 6 inches. These ones that are dusting to 1 inch can sometimes skirt us and not get anything at all. Sometimes we'd only get a dusting instead of an inch, so it's always difficult to decide what to do for the customer and safety and liability.
Well, I can tell you that Jim has been up just about all night long, he and his employees. Of course, a lot of the private contractors and also snow companies, they work long hours, just as long sometimes as MoDOT or KDOT, but it's all to make parking lots, especially on the commercial properties, safe for all of us. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
Well, snowplow companies already at work trying to remove that snow and ice out there.
KMBC-9's Brenda Washington is riding along with one driver on the Kansas side, and Brenda, he says this is really a season of no sleep for these guys.
That's right, no sleep for the private contractors, snow removal companies, the guys that work the highways. When it comes to this type of season, Donna, you're right, no sleep. We're here with Jim Martz, Martz Brothers Snow Removal, and these guys have been up for hours and hours and hours. Right now, we are here at I-35 and 87th Street, and Jim, you and I have been talking. You say right now that you're concentrating on Wyandotte and Johnson and not Jackson County. Why is that?
Well, right now this storm has got a possibility to miss a little bit of the eastern part of the metro area, so we're focusing on getting everything treated here in the western part. So the Johnson County and Wyandotte area is what looks to be the main focus right now.
And you say that will, of course, save you material, because if you just spread it out all over the place and you're all over the metro area, you're actually wasting material that could be needed later.
Yeah, excuse me, and that's always the difficult part of it. We don't want to put it down where not, excuse me, not needed. However, sometimes we just can't take that gamble with the liability and the safety of patrons and buildings. So that's always a thin line.
And the Martz Brothers Snow Removal Company, they do take care of commercial properties, and Jim says they have a ton of them around the metro area. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
All right, Brenda. He's got a long season ahead. The good news is that crews across the metro, they knew this was coming, and they have been planning for this morning.
KMBC-9's Brenda Washington joining up with a private snow removal company in Kansas City, Kansas this morning on the Kansas side this morning, 5:46. Brenda, how does it look out there right now?
Well, right now here in Johnson County, we're not getting anything right now. We're here with Jim Martz with Martz Brothers Snow Removal. They're based in KCK. And Jim, you're checking with your crews. You have commercial properties all over the metro area. Right now, you're hearing about some snow falling in Independence?
It sounds like we got a light dusting a little bit east, but I think that moved through pretty quickly. We're still looking for that storm to come through and hit us here at the Johnson County and Wyandotte area, but it looks like it's still about an hour out.
Now, I know you guys have been on been out since 3 o'clock this morning. So with this dusting now that's falling, what does that mean for your crews?
Really, right now, since we've got a pre-treatment out, just like the cities, we've got some leeway and time. This will help get everybody into work and make it safe for them for the first. Depending on the amount of snow we get, this could be all we need. Just depending on how much snow we end up getting.
Okay, well, let's hope we don't get too much this time around. Well, coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about when to treat and when not to treat. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
All right, Brenda. Snow removal companies just as busy as the city crews, the highway crews, working long overnight hours. KMBC-9's Brenda Washington is with Martz Brothers Snow Removal. And Brenda, you pointed out these are the guys and gals that keep us safe once we get to our destinations, clearing the parking lots and so on.
Right, Donna, because we still have to walk from our cars to the front door. And Martz Brothers Snow Removal, they take care of a lot of commercial properties around the metro area now. And we're here with Jim Martz, who's one of the owners. And Jim, you just got some information from one of your crews that's out south, I believe. What were they saying about the weather out there now?
Correct. It sounds like the storm is getting to us now, like predicted. We're getting reports of some light snow and a little bit of ice or freezing drizzle out south, roughly the 151st and I-35 area.
Is that an area that you are having to go to treat right now? Have you treated that or what?
We've actually already treated, so we got out early ahead of the storm just to be prepared. Because right now is when the time people are starting to get to work, so we want to make sure to get all the product down to make it safe for them to get in.
And of course, these private contractors, they work long days, just like the highway guys from MoDOT and KDOT. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
6:47 now. We've been talking about it all morning long. Winter weather making your drive to work maybe a little slower this morning.
KMBC-9's Brenda Washington is with one snow removal company out of KCK this morning. And Brenda, they've been planning for this.
That's right, Donna. Right now, we are between 75th and 87th, just east of I-35, and we have this sleet. I don't know how well you can see, but it is coming straight down right now. We are with Jim Martz with Martz Brothers Snow Removal, and they've been working all night long getting all of their commercial properties treated. And, you know, one question I have for you, when it comes to salt supplies, you know, a couple of years ago, there was this shortage. We were having storms just all over the country. When it comes to who gets that supply, who stands in line, is it state, cities, counties, next, and then you private contractors, or how does that work briefly?
Absolutely. The municipalities always come first, and they've got contracts with the salt mines in order to secure that contract and to be first in line. But a lot of people ask what we do in the summertime, and that's one of the things we do. We're constantly stockpiling our product to make sure that we have it throughout the winter time, and we have not had a shortage yet.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Hopefully we won't have a shortage now as the snow is coming down. But again, the contractors, they've been out. This particular company, they had finished all of their commercial properties, so right now we're just kind of taking a look to make sure everything is covered, and they're just crossing their fingers, hoping that perhaps the snow melts a little bit faster than what we are predicting. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
All right, Brenda, good to see those conditions there where you are. Well,
all right, snowplow's been busy this week, and they've been out this morning already preparing for another round of snow and ice.
KMBC-9's Brenda Washington traveling with a plow truck driver earlier this morning. And Brenda, as we said earlier, these guys, they don't get much sleep at all.
Oh, they don't. I think the gentleman we were with, Jim Martz, who's one of the owners of Martz Brothers Snow Removal, said he probably had 3 hours or less of sleep. I mean, they hit the roads about 3 o'clock this morning. They primarily are in charge of the commercial properties. They've got commercial properties that they salt and take care of and plow all over the area. Now, right now, we are between 75th and 87th here in Overland Park, and where we've had some freezing rain, freezing sleet come down. It's stopped for the moment. Just a little tiny bit of it is still coming down on our windshield. Now, as far as the crews that take care of the commercial properties, the gentleman we were with, they say that they were very, very busy, and here's what they were doing overnight.
So far, it's been as predicted. The forecast is holding true, and we're getting out in front of it and getting everything treated before patrons make it into their offices. So far, it's been a stress-free as of now until the snow starts flying.
And again, of course, they will keep their eye on when the snow starts flying. And right now, they have finished pretty much pre-treating all of their commercial properties, but they're not done yet. Their day's not over. They're going to wait to see what the snow does, and then depending on how much we get, they will be out plowing. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
A lot of people watching for that today, Brenda. Thanks. All right, Martin, so that threat of snow and some of that dusting of snow that's moved through really had crews on alert this morning. KMBC-9's Brenda Washington is live. You were with those crews this morning watching them. And Brenda, as you were talking to them, what pointers did they have for drivers?
Well, of course, just drive according to the conditions, and of course make sure that your tires are inflated properly. You know, all of the common sense things you need to drive safely. Now, right now we're in Overland Park, right off 75th Street. We've got a few flurries coming down. They're really not sticking to the major roads because, of course, they've been pre-treated. Some of the neighborhood streets, they remain clear. A few have a light dusting of the snow. You know, the road crews have been out all night pre-treating the roads. Private contractors, they've been taking care of commercial properties. We're talking about companies like Martz Brothers Snow Removal. They say their job can be just as hectic as it is for the highway crews.
What you're seeing now is pretty laid back. If this was a normal storm and snow was flying, it's a completely different story.
And right now, a lot of the private contractors have finished up for the morning, but they are still on standby depending on how much snow we get today, because then they'll be out plowing. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
And we've said it every morning for the past week here, a reminder to make sure that you give those plow trucks, those road crews, plenty of space. Even those private drivers, they need a lot of space to clear those roads this morning and keep you safe out on the roads. They're providing a great service, as they have done for so many days here, Johnny, over the past week, and it's a good thing they're doing.
This morning, of course, the drive is the focus for most. Once you get to where you're going, though, you're definitely going to hope that that parking lot is clear and safe, and that's where those private plow owners step in.
That's right. KMBC-9's Brenda Washington riding with one of them this morning. You have been, Brenda, and I know you've also been out on the roads just kind of watching the road conditions, too. Brenda.
That's right. We do have some flurries that are coming down. We're on 87th Street, just a little bit past Monrovia. We're getting close now to I-35 North and also South 69 Highway. So far, we haven't had any problems at all. And Donna, you are right about those private contractors. You know, we always concentrate on the roads, but guess what? Once you get to your destination, you got to walk from your car to the door, hopefully not falling. That is why the private contractors working all night, putting salt down on the commercial properties, including Martz Brothers Snow Removal Company. We were with them this morning, and they were telling us that there is a time to treat and a time not to treat.
We, as today, we held back on the Jackson County area because we weren't 100% sure that they were going to get this dusting to up to an inch, and now it looks like that's in process, so we're going to have to go ahead and get that treated before people get into work.
And because of the snow that has been coming down, the freezing sleet, the flurries, they are indeed treating all of their commercial properties. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.
Crews across the metro have been working around the clock this morning to keep really ahead of this storm.
KMBC-9's Brenda Washington earlier was riding with one company helping clear that snow in the private parking lots. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Donna. That's right. The private contractors were out all night pre-treating the commercial properties that they take care of. We were with Martz Brothers Snow Removal Company. They're based in KCK, but they work all over the metro area, including in St. Joe and even in parts of Nebraska if need be. And we've been talking with them this morning about how their job differs from that of highway crews.
We're all working long, hard hours, and when we get back-to-back-to-back storms like this, there's not a whole lot of sleep in between.
And Martz Brothers Snow Removal Company says they have plenty of salt for whatever Mother Nature decides to bring today. Brenda Washington, KMBC-9 News.